Hello and welcome to fieldwork in week one of Frozen. So let's just get into it. Let's see how we roll. I'm going to have to change this around a bit. Probably have to shorten this down. So this first video is going to be made around looking into our unique values and a little bit of a tracker just to start to get the guide up and underway. But first of all, let's come back and have a look at this feminine and masculine energy. Now, I'm a big believer that it's really important to set an intention. Yeah, who is the best version of me, and where am I currently sitting in regards to that best version of me? Now, it's quite a difficult task to do at the start because a lot of us are just disconnected from what that is. So it's going to guide you through a few areas. Now, one of the things that I want you to understand is that every person in the world has both feminine and masculine energies. These aren't male and female. They're just different energy types. And we have a mature and a wounded. A mature and a wounded, both in feminine and masculine. Now, one of the big problems I see today with a lot of people is they are not really connected enough in their mature masculine. And that's like confidence, inner strength, responsibility, focus, support, stability, direction, protection, clarity, boundaries, courage, discipline. Yeah. So for a lot of us, if we are not really connected to the best version of ourselves, it's going to be quite hard for us to have clarity, to have boundaries, to have inner strength and confidence, and to have direction. Okay, but also on the other side, I see a lot of us, when we look at the positive or the divine feminine, there's a lot of us, particularly when it comes to the words we say to ourselves and the way that we communicate with ourselves, is understanding of where we currently are, sensitivity, being ease, allowing, having a kindness, a nurturing, that understanding, and that unconditional love for where we are. So neither one of these is better, okay? They're just two different sides. We're not going to go into it too deep today, but in this first little part that we're looking at today, we're going to try to have a look at one drill to find our values, and we're going to have a look at one drill to see where we sit in certain areas of life. What we're really looking here is sort of creating some stability, direction, a little bit of clarity, a little bit of focus. We're looking, trying to connect a bit more into that divine masculine. Now, I believe most people, not most people, all people have divine feminine and divine masculine energies in them, but there is a slight difference. Some people might be 80% feminine and 20% masculine for their full expression of themselves, and vice versa. So let's quickly just have a look at this unique and universal values assessment. Now, if you click on this little part down the bottom, it's a hyperlink, so it will take you to the VIA character study and you fill them out. Now, all I want you to do is find your top 5 unique virtues. Okay, so these are what are your top 5 virtues or character traits that are unique to you in this form of assessment. Now, I use a few different forms of assessment and I ask people questions, and over a period of time, we can whittle them down so we can really connect in. But at the start, this is just a good starting place to get an understanding of where we sit. And we're looking at the moment at just our moving towards values, the values that drive us moving forward. As you can see here in the universal section, it's been shown through Martin Seligman's work that the more energy we have, if you give anyone more energy, they're more likely to succeed in life. So that's because it's a universal one. You know, like my unique value for me is love of learning. Now, if we give everyone an extra love of learning, that's not always going to help them because it mightn't be in congruency with their life. But these universal ones down here are congruent to everyone in life, and they're really important. So zest is more energy. Hope is having the ability that we have control over what's happening in our life and that we can have some say and influence and create a better version of ourselves. You want to really look into hope and the power of hope. Now, one of my favorite books is by Viktor Frankl. It's called A Man's Search for Meaning. And Viktor Frankl was a Holocaust survivor who also happened to be a psychiatrist, and he invented something called logotherapy, a really impactful book. It just goes to show, if you have hope, if you have a purpose, if you have a drive outside of yourself, you can endure anything. We all know the power of gratitude. We will deepen our gratitudes, and these are one of the practices that you have. 3 gratitudes every day. Just 3 things that you're grateful for. There's something called the Lasada line. We'll just make it simple, that if we can have a 3-to-1 ratio of gratitude to pessimism, we can really change our life. So I really want you to connect into 3 gratitudes. Obviously, courage, that ability to meet that part of ourselves that doesn't believe change is possible, that ability for us to step into the uncomfortable, unfamiliar, and inconvenient, and still take action for the better good, for the long-term good over the short-term gain. Courage is really big, and love. So these universal ones are there for everyone. So if in your unique ones, maybe gratitude comes up for you, that's cool. I don't want you to write that down. I want you to end up with 5 unique ones in here. So for me, my top 5 fit in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For you, you might have 2 that are already in the bottom section, and you might need to just write some others in. So that's all I need you to do. Next week, we'll explain a little bit more about how we can go through and put these virtues into action. Now, through Brian Johnson and his group Optimize, I really believe in a Stoic way of philosophy. I've been really studying a lot of the Stoics recent, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, 2 of my favorite at the moment, and the way that they look at eudaimonia, which is the study of a good life. And they believe that a eudaimonic life is a study of a good life through, and we live that good life through an expression of our values. So they talk about a eudaimonic life through arete, or studying a good life through the practice of our values. So I really, really like that. And also it's about having that practice and that ability to make sure that we can take action on a daily thing, that we get out of the hedonic pleasure or the happiness or the nice little moment right now, and create a longer term stability, longer focus. So I know it's a little bit long on this one. It's going to be short. Hang on 1 second. But what I've ended up doing is talking a bit much. So this one, we're just talking about connecting in with our values. We're looking at creating a bit of an understanding of this divine masculine, and we're really looking at is the opportunity to get a bit of focus, a little bit of direction, okay? And from there, when we have good direction, we can create good boundaries. We can have some clarity in action. We can start to then create some discipline. We can have some focus and take some inner responsibility of doing some stuff to make our life work well. We will be getting into the divine feminine in week 3. Then one of the drills we've got is going through this universal and unique virtue finder, because for us to live as the best version of ourselves, to live a eudaimonic life through the practice of arete, we need to understand where we're going to guide our practice. So it's really, really important to look at that. We've already got the 5. Click on the hyperlink. Now this is the next one that I want you to do if it's for you. These are new add-ins. No one else has done this in the group. This is a form that me and my good friend Jake Carter have made for a business that we have coming up. And we've just got some wheel sections. We've got money and finance, we've got health, we've got fitness, we've got business, we've got romance, we've got friends and family, we've got personal growth, spiritual growth, personal development, recreation and fun, and commitment. And you can see we've just created 5 little sections. Okay. So when it comes to money and finance, do we have just any awareness on our outgoings? So some people don't even have a budget, they're not aware of their outgoings. Do we have a reliable and consistent, predictable income? Do we have a savings schemes? There's a little bit of a mistake here. I don't quite understand what that one is. I have to go and reframe that. But normally that is not only do we have a savings scheme, but do we have multiple streams of income? Okay, so becoming anti-fragile, multiple streams of income is one of the ways. And then number 5, are we able to live off the interest of our investments? Okay, so whereabouts do you fit in that section? When it comes to health, positive outlook on life, constant sleep, are you eating well? Do you have good energy? And we've got the absence of disease, dysfunction, and pain. So whereabouts can you tick those off? Fitness. Okay, there's just little sections here. Are you functional? Are you fit for purpose? You have full body mastery and metabolic stability. When it comes to business, are you trading time for money? Do you have a good marketing system? Are you in scale? Yeah, do we have some form of autonomy so your business can run really well without you being in it, and obviously running off multiple streams? In romance, like what's the communication like? What's the connection like? What's the quality time? Yeah, the intimacy and fulfillment. So whereabouts are you, or where do you need to have some work? So just give yourself on each one of these scales a scale of 1 to 10. So I know ours says 1 to 5 here, but I just took some notes from a different course and brought them across for you guys. I just want you to connect in, even if it's between 1 and 5. Okay, we'll just keep it easy. I'll reframe what I said. Let's just keep it 1 and 5. So 5 being the most awesome. You've got investments, you've got absence of disease, you've got full body mastery, there's no pain, no dysfunction. You've got multiple streams of income that can run on itself. You're living off your investments. You've got a really fulfilling relationship. Yeah, you're already, all your friends celebrate your wins and give you constructive criticisms because they're kind. Yeah. So family, do we have a lack of understanding with our friends? Are they shallow, one-sided relationships? Is there sort of like a codependency in the relationships? We're like wound buddies bouncing off each other. Or do we have really resilient friends? And do our friends celebrate us? Personal growth. So I'll just quickly go through this since I've made it this far in. Are we still carrying a lot of triggers, these unresolved wounds or traumas that still trigger us? Yeah. Do we have awareness, reflection, openness, and vulnerability into moving in? Have we structured time, ability to adapt? And are we desiring change? Yeah. Some of us, we don't need to do this. We might already give ourselves a 5 because things are going really well. Do we have self-control and confidence and self-love, integrity, fulfillment, living into every moment? Spiritual development. Yeah, there's some stuff there. Personal environment. This is quite a big one. Okay. Is there space that you're in? Is it conducive to what you really want? Okay. Now, for a long period of time, and even currently where I am now, because we're not living in our ideal situation, we're living well, but not perfect. Yeah. So I know for me, my personal environment could do a lot. I could definitely make changes here. Okay. Could definitely make changes in money and finance as well. Okay. Then recreation and fun. Yeah. Are we able to have that level of fun that we want? Can we get in flow? And then our levels of commitment. So these are just some areas for you to have a look at, just to start to understand, what does that best version of me start to look like? If I want to come back here and really connect into my divine masculine and have really great confidence in the strength and take responsibility for the outcome of my life. Yeah. Do I have focus, direction, clarity? And then from there, am I having some courage to step into them and create the right amount of boundaries and be certain in where I'm going? So one of the best places to start is understanding for you, what does life look like? So I hope this helps, just to go through those sections. So enjoy, get in, do the work, and I can't wait to hear you go. Anyone, if you want, share anything in the group, and I'll look forward to seeing you all in week 2.